We are at Emerson HQ in Leonard, Oklahoma. A couple weeks ago, I demoed the back probably third of the shop and put up the paneling and got some LEDs that I can change the color and whatnot just to set the vibe. But yeah, I feel like hopping back on social media has been really good for us. And yeah, just trying to make this a new chapter for us, this is, I feel like I'm in a better headspace, mentally. I have more of a drive when it comes to guitars. I'm actually interested in guitar again. Been doing this full time for 12 years now. So it's real easy to get burnt out. And when you make your hobby your day job, it can quickly become really not fun anymore. So, over the years I had taken on other hobbies or interests, and there was some times where I wouldn't even pick up a guitar for months. So yeah, this, just wanted to kind of start fresh. Now that we have, the new Premier Pro pots, we got our caps that we've had for, 11 years now. They're super popular. I feel like we have some not only unique, but really valuable. I don't know if that's the right word, but I feel like I have something of value to offer the industry. It's especially with our new pots, our Premier Pro pots. That's something that before these, there was nothing quite like it. I got a message from Ron Thorne of Thorne Guitars. Believe he used to be one of the master builders at Fender Custom Shop. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll fact check that later. But he messaged me today, and because he mentioned me in his story yesterday, he posted one of the pots that he got from us. It was reading right at 500.1K. So that's 0.1% above 500K, which is just insane. And the song he had was Unicorn Tolerance. I've never heard that song before, but it's pretty funny because it's just insane how close it is to 500K. But I meter all the pots that come through here, and 500, having something at around 500K is not unusual. I was measuring 40 to 50 pots yesterday, and I had probably 6 or 7 that were $499, 500, 501, stuff like that. So it's really cool to be able to, with confidence, deliver what we actually say. We don't just advertise it or state it. I'm looking at real-time data from, different lots, it'll be a year in August since we've had them. And when we say we advertise a ±8, I can count on 2 hands the amount of times I've had something even remotely close to the lower side of our stated tolerance. I've legit never had a single pot fall below our stated tolerance. So I think that's pretty dang cool. I know it's super nerdy, but I get excited about when I can deliver something that even at its lowest end of the spec is still night and day better than what you'd find elsewhere. I've tried to just post some not overly produced stuff, just trying to be myself and show people hey, we're not some mega company or corporation. It's literally me full time, and I got a guy that works part time. And I like it that way. I don't want to be a manager to 15 employees. So, and I feel bad. I get so many emails and I can't respond to them all. Obviously if you've placed an order, I'm going to take care of that. But it's just one of those things where I am thankful that we keep so busy, but at the same time, I like the small scale, because my OCD can rest easy at night knowing hey, I measured that, or I double checked that before it went in the box. There is a level of ownership that because it has my name on it, like Emerson's my middle name, like I want it when it's like delivered or opened or whatever to be exactly what we said it was going to be. So I guess just telling that story, of like, hey, take it or leave it. We're not going to be everything to everybody, but we have the SKUs on our website that we offer, and we try and do that not only the best we can, but to be the best available. Hopping back onto social media after like 5 years, forgot how many a-holes there are. Like growing up, my mom would mama pinch the back of my arm, like leave a bruise, and be like, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And so like, not saying that I always did that, but for the most part, it was like, just kind of keep your mouth shut. But I don't know. So I wasn't really used to negativity, because I don't really have that in my life. Like in real life, I can just be like, okay, and just not be around them. But we had, I guess just some people balk or scoff at I don't know the right word for that, but at the price, our pots are $17.49 street price, and there was a decent amount of people like, oh, that's highway robbery. I could buy 40 of these no-name ones from China for that much. There's always going to be cheaper stuff. But I've been doing this. I've been in the industry 15 years, been doing this full-time for 12. Time and time again, as a rule, with very few exceptions, and I have to read this quote because I'll butcher it, but it says, the bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of a low price is forgotten. You can get a Temu knockoff of whatever, and it might work okay for a little bit, but when you need it and it fails on you, you're pissed. And so our key demographic is people that want the best out of their guitar. They're spending not just hundreds of dollars, but a lot of the builders we sell to, I've sent shipments, several shipments this week to builders that use Ron Ellis pickups. A set of his pickups, and I might be a little off on the price, but they're $600 to $800 for a set. They're worth it. People are buying them. It's awesome that, he has that. And there's also brands like Throwback that make humbuckers. And I know some of their sets are $800. So, and they keep so busy. They have great repeat customers. And so it's one of those things where you can get a set of no name, cheap, pickups from wherever on eBay or Temu for probably $5. And it might sound halfway decent, but that's not really what we're after. We're not trying to be the cheapest or have a race to the bottom with, hey, how can I make this the cheapest possible? I want to offer the best in every category. I want the best wire. I want the best switches. I want the best capacitors. I want the best pots. And so it's we're not skimping in any of these areas. We are trying to really have a complete package of the best quality available. And so that's why I'm so proud of the Premier Pros, is because up until this point, we had everything, not only making it look really good and soldered really well. I feel the pots we were using, which up until now was CTS, but with these Premier Pros, since they're ours, they're our own manufacturer, no one else has them. It is legit ours. I built these from the ground up. I blueprinted them. I 3D printed the original samples. We found a manufacturing partner to build them to our exact specs. And because I had CAD'd and blueprinted everything out, I knew exactly how it was going to work when it was built to our blueprints. So it wasn't hey, this is what I'm shooting for and hopefully you'll do it. It's no, here's a working sample. Like, I already have done the work. I've done the research, not only on the mechanical side, but on the electrical side, on just like literally everything, so that like when we designed our taper, we weren't going off like some random off the shelf chart. Like, we were legit. I drew it, and what I set out to do, like, we accomplished it. And so it's really cool to hear, like I mentioned earlier, Ron Thorne from Thorne Guitars with that, 500.1K, like unicorn tolerance. Like, he left me a note today saying like, the taper's incredible. I'm actually going to pull up his, what he said, because it's pretty cool to me. The critical detail, the taper, yours have a wonderful taper, not too abrupt at all. Reminds me of the old Hamer ones. It's just like, we had some comments like, okay, so you built like a really durable pot. How does it sound? And so I'm just like, why would I go through all of that effort to get like incredibly high tolerance or incredibly tight tolerances, super reliable construction? Like, I posted a video of me like literally breaking CTS pots with my fingers, and we had several comments like, you would like, that would never happen. It's inside a guitar, and you don't need it. Like, if you're breaking those with your hands, you need to go get your wrist calibrated. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but we used to sling a metric shit ton of CTS pots. Like, over the last, I think we started working with them in like 2013, 2014, buying direct from them. I'm not lying. I've had over 100,000 CTS pots come through here. And too many times I would have that wafer, there'd be a hairline crack in there. And so let me grab one. These are our pots. But this is ours, so it's not a CTS, but there'd be a hairline crack. Let me grab I'm gonna use this ruler. Like, literally right here. I don't know if you can see that. Like right there in that crease. And I would, you wouldn't really notice that it would break or be broken. You'd have to bend the lugs back, and then it would just literally crumple. So like, if you didn't do that and you just read it with a multimeter, it would read, and you'd turn the pot and it would be fine. But like, it's gonna, like, when it arrives, or say like any vibration in shipping, like, it's literally not gonna work when it gets there. So that was something I noticed. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I would say like at least like 1 to 3 per 100 would arrive with the hairline, and then I would bend the lugs up and it would just snap. And so like, answering those comments like, you need to get your wrist calibrated. It's like, no, bro, like, if it's gonna break, I want it to break here. I don't want it breaking like when you're in the middle of your set, or you're flying on a plane. And even if you throw it in the overhead, like, if there's, we've seen like so many things where, because we ship stuff all around the world, where like, in theory it shouldn't happen, but it does. And so like, we took all of that data and we're like, okay, we're going to build the most robust quality pot that we can. And so that's what we do with these Premier Pros. Like, I'm really freaking proud of them. This fiberglass wafer that some people were like, that's overkill. Like, yeah, it's overkill. Like, I want the damn pot to work when it needs to work. And so, I don't know why I got so worked up over that post, but it's just like, wouldn't you want something to like be durable? Like, so, yeah, like, I'm not going to be like throwing them on the floor, but like, if I accidentally drop it on the floor when I'm about to like throw it in a guitar, I don't want it to break. And so like, yeah, like, shit happens. But I don't know. I don't know why that like stuck out to me so much, but I guess to answer that, it's like, yeah, we like over-engineered it so that not only is it the best sounding, the best taper, the tightest tolerances, but it's gonna like freaking last. I spent 3 years of my life, like so much of my life savings to develop these. Like, I spared literally no expense, spent way more than I had budgeted. But yeah, just kind of like going back to like, I thought everything through. So like those comments like, okay, it's all rugged, but how does it sound? So like, obviously I made it sound good. Like that would be so dumb of me to build, like go 99% of the way and overlook like one of the last critical details of, you know, it can feel right, it can measure right, but if it doesn't sound right or the taper's off, like who cares? So yeah, I'm really proud of them. I feel like we've ticked all the boxes with not only, you know, fit, feel, function, but like reliability and like having a lot of data from years of experience to know like, hey, yeah, it can break at that point. And so we're going to make sure to make it better. And because we are manufacturing these ourselves, we can do that. With other vendors, you're just stuck with, we'll try, or yeah, it's a good idea, but we can't really like do it because just it's not something we do. And so, yeah, it's just really cool to like have thought through all these things and design it, build it, and then bring it to fruition. And then it brings me like such great satisfaction. It's like really gratifying to get like a note from like Ron Thorne, or like got a buddy Lyle. He does a lot of marketing for Grosh guitars. That was a big brand growing up that I was like, man, someday I want one of those. Like I was so poor then I couldn't afford them. But so it's like really cool to have these people use our stuff and not only use it, but like being like seeing the details that we put into this and appreciating the quality and what our products have to offer. I joke with a lot of builder buddies, like the guitar industry is a great way to lose $1 million. Like I can't think of anybody that's not ripping people off. And that's been doing this for, you know, I've been at this for 15 years now. Like there's people that make a lot of money, but it's because they're screwing people over and they get caught. There's been so many like scandals of like people rebranding stuff and then they get caught and they gotta like do a bunch of refunds, or people stealing money or taking money for orders and never delivering. Like the guitar industry is not something where you're making bank. Like it takes so much like effort, passion, and like willingness to, like literally just believing in like the vision of, hey, like, yeah, I'm not a good guitarist. I'm not great. Like I know like the basic, like probably 10 chords and I can somewhat keep a beat, but like taking musical theory in college, like it was like some alien language to me. It just didn't click with the way my brain's wired. But I do this because I love the guitar. I love serving others. I love helping others, and I love that I'm able to deliver something of unique value that can help them solve a problem that they're facing. Whether that be, hey, my volume pot is just not cutting it for me, or, you know, I got these really nice pickups, but I feel like my controls there's something lacking there. So like the whole, like what we do with our pre-wired kits and like our components is, I feel like it's an often overlooked category. You know, people will upgrade their pickups and their tuners and get like the best strings and, you know, split hairs on all these different things, but it's often overlooked like what's under the hood. And so, yeah, I mean, just it like brings me a lot of satisfaction to offer something that not everybody else has or offers. It's just like a small way that I can contribute not only to the world, but like to musicians. And then like with our pre-wire kits, you know, like it's me and one other guy. I have like crazy OCD. And so I love like turning our wiring into useful like pieces, like functioning pieces of like musical equipment, but also like I try and approach stuff with like an eye for like beauty. I know that sounds weird, but like there's something about like, man, that wire perfectly bent in that like, you know, half circle looks really freaking cool. You know, that stuff like makes me really happy. And so when I'm able to like showcase that to the world and like other people are like, man, that looks so freaking cool. Like that makes me happy. And it's like one of those things where like I said earlier, like I'm not good at guitar, but I am good at wiring. And so that's like kind of my way of being artistic is, just doing something so like niche, but doing it really freaking well and just going like straight at it. Like, and just being like, okay, this is my lane. I'm going to get really freaking good at this. And so that's what I've been trying to do for full time for the last 12 years. I feel like I've really hit like a new season at Emerson. I feel like just able to like really be like, you know, cause we used to build pedals, you know, we used to build pedal boards. We used to do like some cable kits for pedal boards and stuff. Like we're not doing that anymore. Like I'm literally straight up, you know, they say don't put your eggs all in one basket, but like my eggs are all in this basket. Like I believe in it so much. You know, I've done, you know, like several other things with the brand in the past. And I don't know, for like a peace of mind, it's like I'm like solely dedicated to like this lane, and it feels really freaking good. Because there's people that ask me like, hey, why don't you like still do pedal boards or still do pedals? And it's like, man, I don't really like, I'm not really into that. There's way too many people out there trying to be something they're not. And so like with me, it's like, I'm so thankful that I get to do this full time and support my family and, you know, have a great life. But to me, like the kind of like, it's almost like a spiritual aspect of like art is like the honesty, like the rawness of like, this is me, take it or leave it, but this is me. And so with the pre-wire kits and the parts, like that's my, kind of like delve into art. Not that there's anything wrong with, you know, running a business and selling stuff, but to me, it's like life's too short to be like selling something that you're not like fully 100% behind. Like I didn't quit my day job to start another business to like not be like fully into it. And so I'm just really thankful that like this current season, I'm like energized with like being able to not feel like a used car salesman and like just slinging stuff that I don't really believe in. Like it's really freaking cool to like I was chatting with a dude today, Ty. Like he made his money in like pharmaceuticals and retired like at like 47. So he's been building guitars just as like a hobby. It's a business for him, but he only takes on like so much work per year. And I was chatting with him, and he was just saying like, this is my art. Like I only do what I want. And I only have like a limited amount of like time slots per year. And so it felt like a good vibe, like similar vein, like of like similar mentality between us. Like, yeah, like I can only build so many kits a month. I can only like do so much. And so like when I do those things, I really want it to like speak of like who I am and what I'm into. Like we get tons of requests for like random stuff. And as much as I want to help those people like with like, you know, some random brand that, you know, I'd love to help them, but there's not enough time in the day. And I don't like to sell like pre-wire kits for stuff that I haven't done a ton of like hands-on R&D with, because too many times a working diagram doesn't work in real life. And I hate putting my name on something that I haven't fully tested and like make sure that like, hey, that should work and it kind of works, but it could be better. Or what really sucks is when something doesn't work. And then not only is the customer frustrated, but I'm frustrated and then I want to figure it out. So I'm to the point now where like we make what we make. And if we don't make what you need, we have the loose components to where you can do it yourself or take it to a reputable tech and he can do it for you. So it's kind of where we're at. So yeah. Hey guys, so just got like a studio set up. We're going to be doing some longer form content. So if you guys can drop some comments or questions down below that you'd like us to answer, we're going to be doing another podcast shoot next week. We'll answer them then. So leave your comments or questions down below. And if it's not too crazy, we'll try and answer it. So thanks guys.